Good evening, sports lovers. Day 8 of DirTiSweat, stage 7 of Dakar. And Gary, the location people have done an amazing job again today. I see we at the exhibition match that Liverpool, the five-a-side soccer exhibition match that Liverpool are having in South Africa. So far it's a tight game, it's 1-1. So you might hear some soccer noises in the background, but bear with us. So today...
Evening all. Welcome to everybody from all over the world.
Australia.
Bonjour.
How's it? Proof always. Good. So, Gary, today I thought that we try for a title every day. And
Correct.
first of all, I had a huge argument with the scriptwriters this morning. They were adamant that we need to cut down our time. So we'll try and cut down our time. It was a horrible meeting, but you know, when you're involved in a production as large as this, we work as a team, and teamwork is everything. So we've got to keep on the right side of everybody. So I thought that we should talk about comrades today.
Comrades?
Yeah, not.
This is a rally. I mean, it's not. It's a race.
It's a race. Well,
what do you mean, comrades?
Comrades is also a race. We're talking about Dakar within the context of comrades, as opposed to comrades, the running race that goes down from Maritzburg to Durban, Durban to Maritzburg. I love that hat, by the way. Motul, of course, are this year's oil partner for 2018 Dakar. There have been shifts and changes, and they're really putting up a major marketing push. Motul, great oil. I'm led to believe, so they say.
Well, to all the motor boys in South Africa, thanks. I know some of you watch us, so do enjoy, and we'll speak shortly.
So we'll just do it and get into comrades. And the question is, why comrades? Well, today is a marathon stage. Comrades marathon.
Okay.
Isn't
it a double back-to-back marathon?
Let's go to the end to discover
come back.
what the beginning is about.
Oh, okay.
Always a good idea to go to the end, so we know where we're going to. And ultimately, in this race, we're actually going to Pisa, which is Saturday and Sunday. We started at La Paz, and tonight they will sleep in Uyuni after a 300 kilo odd liaison and 425 k's of racing. All over 3,700 meters. They're going to go to 4,800 meters.
Yo.
So it's going to be high. It's going to be very interesting to see the effect of the altitude on the turbocharged diesel cars and on the Toyota. We know that that acceleration, the Toyotas are a little bit off off the Peugeots and the diesel. We know the top speed is around about the same. So then from Uyuni they go to Pisa, which is another 498 k's of rallying. And overall of racing, on the stage. So the thing about the marathon stage is that you're not allowed outside assistance in the bivouac at the end of today.
Does that include the chef?
Yes.
Okay.
So
no pizza tonight.
So there's absolutely no outside assistance. The bivouac, the caravan, the village will go straight from La Paz into Pisa.
Okay.
Some of the media are under very strict rules, apparently, are going to Uni. And what does outside assistance mean in the race? And let's have a look at what the rules are, and then how they can be interpreted, and what the impact that's going to have both on reliability and on speed.
Just a quick one. Welcome to Sheldon van der Linde, Kevin Reynolds. Nice joining us. Back to you, Squire.
Welcome, guys. Those Van der Linde kids they make me feel so old. Because I raced with their grandfather, Henny.
Yo.
Long time ago.
Just a quick one. Another quick shout out to two South Africans that did fantastically well in the 24 hours of Dubai today. That is to Simon Murray and Bradley Liebenberg, coming home first in class. Bradley Liebenberg's first 24-hour endurance race. So, Gary, hats off to you, my man.
We've got an endurance theme with Dakar, and both of us, love endurance racing. And the thing that is so awesome about this international endurance racing is the live coverage, live streaming.
Yeah.
You log on, you can check it out, and the level of detail in the timing. I think they came about 44th overall, and they won the TCE class, which is, it is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Great South African effort.
By a massive 8 laps.
That's long.
Well done to the team.
Yeah, great work, guys. Right, so back to our marathon stage. So let's look at what the rules say. And another thing about most international motorsport, the rules are becoming far more accessible to everybody. You can go and download the rules, Dakar rules, and get all the information, how the waypoints work, every single thing that is fully available. And those rules are published well in advance.
Okay.
So it's completely transparent. There are not many rule changes that happen late on. But anyway, the rules are available. So outside assistance means that you may not receive any assistance from anybody else other than another competitor tonight at the overnight rest. So another competitor means it's somebody else in the race itself. So
i.e. another teammate.
You can have another teammate or somebody else in another class or in another type of vehicle. They may be racing a big truck, and they may just happen to have a whole lot of spares in it. And interestingly, there are a couple of...
I can see this. Suddenly a T5 being modified to a race truck to get to accompany
and they
Peugeot.
Well, it's okay if they start. Everybody's got a fast assistance race truck with them. And in the rules, one of the line items is you may not drop or parachute parts into forbidden areas on stage.
Yo.
Now, back in Africa days, there were the French again hired helicopters when it was Peugeot, just happened again in a 208 with, I think Jackie X was driving for them.
That's right.
And the helicopters used to fly behind the race car. So they could point them in the direction those cars never got lost. And if they broke, then a helicopter could land and things could get fixed. But it got stupid from a cost point of view, from a safety point of view.
I can imagine.
And kind of unfair. I mean, the whole concept of a marathon stage or a marathon event, whether it's road running or a
point A to point
motorsport,
B unassisted.
Yeah, via point C. So it's what you can do on your own.
Okay.
And it starts. All right. So let's go back to the rules. No outside assistance. What does that actually mean, and what are the choices that you've now got to make? Well, first of all, let's just consider each individual race car. Yesterday, they were completely stripped, serviced, properly rebuilt, tested, and kind of like new. The distances involved in today and tomorrow are severe enough. It's almost like 2 desert 1,000 races.
I think the two together, they come to nearly 1,300 odd kilometers of racing.
Of hard racing.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of sand. So in the first part, which is today, there's around about 28% is sand. And when we talk about sand, we're talking about desert sand and dunes. Tomorrow is 15%. And yesterday, last night at the briefing in El Central, the brief that they got was that there've been a number of route changes.
Okay.
So they will have got the book, which was printed in advance, and then a pack with all the changes. So in the route book preparation last night, they would have had to go through and cut out all the changes and put them in. So there's another part of the skill of the co-driver. Can they update the road book in time and correctly?
Actually, talking about that, I did see a post online from Rob Howie. Rob, when you get to watch this high, and he was sitting in his hotel room going through those upgrades you were talking about and marking what he needed to mark and things like that, and also complaining about the noise in the city. But okay, back to you.
Well, that's why he and Dirk, they're in a motorhome, and they share it. There's the co-drivers generally get together, and they've got a system that they work together so that you know, the Germans also have a saying that 4 eyes is better than 2, so you've got people helping. It's a team. This whole thing is a team. So now on the individual basis, the drivers have got a decision to make how much they attack, because if you attack hard, the more you attack, the more risk you put to damage on the car.
Okay.
And when the car gets damaged, you might not have the spares to repair. The other thing is that what spares do you actually want to carry with you? Because each spares can be heavy. And what spares, who's going to be the, the word that went through my head was donkey, but it's too disrespectful for the guy one of your teammates who's nominated as the main parts carrier.
Well, I would suggest, I was going to say something about that, because if we take the Toyota to Gazoo team, they're all pretty close together, one after the other, in time-wise.
Yeah.
Now, if car
So
A
which are the
becomes
decisions?
car A goes and car B becomes his donkey, car C goes, car D becomes his donkey.
Well,
Who makes that decision and orders one, or would they possibly allocate one car as a donkey?
Gary, I don't know the decisions, and I'd rather not say what those decisions
Yeah.
are, because we don't know, and it'd be speculating, which is rubbish. But I do know this, that within the Overdrive team, there's a large number of vehicles, including the 3 Toyota Gazoo SA racing cars. So they would have made a decision that the front 3 cars carry a level of spares, and then the other cars would carry other spares, and the race truck they
carry the balance, or probably the more heavier types.
So, the other thing is that if you arrive in a stage and you rip a corner off the car, you're generally pretty screwed, and you ain't going to make it to the end. So there's that fine balance, because you've now we're into the second half and the second part of Dakar 2018, which the main sand dunes are behind us, and we're now starting to get to more proper race, traditional race stages. And the other thing, there's been a lot of rain, and they've been warned about mud. The route changes have been about water. So they've been warned about the level of mud. Now, the level of mud plays directly into a 4-wheel drive vehicle's hands. So it's going to be absolutely fascinating. And that mud comes after Control Point 1. Control Point 1, so far it looks like NASA's ahead, but we don't know. Again, let's be patient. So we don't want to talk about what's happening here. You've got to wait to the end to know what's happened halfway through. Then tonight, when they get there, they will go through a driver and co-driver checklist program. And these are not just the co-drivers that in all the testing and in the experience that they've got, they will have worked on these cars already. So it's not only spares they've got to carry, it's tools that they've got to carry.
But I'm sure that the drivers and the co-drivers have spent time with engineers and understanding how...
And the technicians. They've spent enough time. They also have access to a lot of their manuals, so and things that are written instructions, because their primary focus until now has been on moving the race car from point A to point B as fast as possible, and the technicians, that their primary focus has been on maintaining and fixing the car. And now you've got a mishmash of two, and when they get out of the car tonight, over and above the normal co-driver duties of working what happens tomorrow and making sure that they eat properly and get to sleep on time, they almost motoring or originally that they now go back and they prepare the vehicle. So they're going to go through their normal checklist and then fix anything that may be broken or that they may deem to be repaired. They can talk by phone, sat phone, radio, whatever it is, between themselves and
race technicians, stroke engineers,
absolutely.
And the magic cars.
So the technicians and rocket scientists and engineers will be standing by with all of that information. The one question that you don't have is they may not have been able to download the information that sits on the data logging of the car from a fuel consumption point of view, may not be able to be relayed to the engineers. So fuel consumption calculation for tomorrow is a bit of an issue, and that's another thing that they'll have to do is once they get given an idea of how much fuel it goes in, they will put that much fuel in the car. And
now on that, do they normally get, is the bivouac they're going to be at tonight, is that a real fuel point, so there's fuel there? Or do they have to go and hunt
there was also fuel, a fuel stop at the end of today's stage, and there'll be a fuel stop at tomorrow's stage. So they don't have a normal petrol gauge like you and I have on the car. They've got a very, very accurate consumption gauge, and they know what they put in. So in a normal bivouac, they would empty the tank of the car, and then they would measure what so you go back to stage 1, they then put in so much vehicle, so much fuel. So you always know what you've put in and what the car's used, and so that the cycle goes.
All right.
But tonight they won't be able to do that. And the most accurate way of doing fuel consumptions on these cars is to park the car on a level piece of ground and to take a stick. And the stick has been very carefully calibrated with marks of how many liters are in the tank.
Is it a curved stick or a straight stick?
Gary,
I just want to know.
Gary, I'll beat you with a stick.
The shortest point between two things is a piece of string.
It's not really a straight line because curvature of the earth and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, it's a stick. And the stick has got lines on it. So,
and tells you how
the
much
nice thing
liters
about
in
a
the-
stick
in the-
is
in the
that,
tank.
yeah, when you put it in, you've got a high tide mark. And Gary, sometimes the most accurate way is not to confuse things with technology, but it's to actually just get the job done in the most accurate way. So they use a stick, and they'll know how much fuel is in the car. They know how much they used to get to uni, and then they'll put fuel in, and then do a brief rundown, clean the windows and windscreen of the car. I see Liverpool have just scored another goal, awesome stuff. And then they'll get ready and go to sleep and prepare for tomorrow. Now, there are some hotels, and it's not a Hilton. There are some hotels very close by, and it's about a kilo and a half fast walk.
They have to walk there. They can't take the race car there.
No, they walk, because the car's in
Park for me.
well, not quite park for me. It's in service, which is strictly controlled and may not go there. So the decision that would have been made earlier again is which is the comrade who carries the bulk of the spares. Which level of spares do we give in the car? What level of attack have we got going?
Okay.
I think that in the mud, I think there's going to be maximum attack, and it's now time to start putting the Toyota Gazoo Racing have got 100% of their cars in the race. Peugeot have got 50% of their cars. So from a reliability and from a and we're talking, and in the top 5 there's 3 Toyotas and there's 2 Peugeots.
That's correct.
So the war is still on. The gaps are big, but so is the time to be made is big. You just have to get stuck in the mud.
Yeah, but we're only at stage 8, and we've got to get to stage 14.
Exactly. So we're actually at stage 7, Gary. Can you focus?
Sorry, day 8, stage 7.
I printed it in 28 font, especially for you. So that brings us right back to our comrades. Tonight they will be together in a uni. There will be a spirit of comradeship, and we are great comrades. We've worked as a team. We will may have some outside assistance tonight.
Most definitely.
Depending on what
it's going to
catering
be
has
a
done.
very cold one.
If catering have done their job, and again we have a production meeting afterwards. So our production department and executive producer really would like your comments. Please send us your comments, queries and questions, whether you're from PE, Cape Town, Melbourne,
The Netherlands,
or some other strange places, and that's
and Brad, I will take your advice. I shall focus. So from all of us, thank you very much for watching. We will be back tomorrow. Please have a fantastic evening and enjoy Dakar.